And today we are going to talk about how AI agents can actually help you process your emails. Not in terms of how you categorize or filter or label them, but more in terms of how you can actually respond them faster. And one of the ways you can do that is if the AI agents could actually respond to your emails. Like if you could actually train an AI agent that can create a response. How to do that using Jotform's new? We just released this week, just like literally like 2 days ago. Jotform Gmail agents.
Hi, my name is Dimitri Benici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents Podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Ida Tank. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show. Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents Podcast. We're back together today. The duo is back at it again. We haven't done a podcast together in a little while. Idakin's been enjoying some time out and about, so we finally are getting back together. And today we are going to be talking about how to manage your email inbox and send drafts using AI agents. How you doing, Idakin?
Yeah, I'm doing great. We were traveling with the family. We were in the UK and in London, so we just had some fun. And with the three kids, it's actually out of work, but I'm back at work, and doing other episodes for our podcast is exciting.
Yeah, I'm really pumped, man. It's been a pretty good sort of, obviously not as great as when we were working on it together, but no, we've had a lot of really cool guests in the last couple months. I'd say that recently we begin more and more cool guests. Our streams are going up every week, and we just hit 50,000 total downloads, which is pretty awesome. I really appreciate all the listens, the likes, the reviews. It's been awesome. So please keep doing that. It's very helpful every time you leave a review or a comment on YouTube. Obviously, reviews on podcast platforms, that's the key. Really appreciate those. So thanks so much for everything that you guys have done for us in the last little while. And what we're going to talk about today, more specifically, I know I mentioned it at the start of the episode, but Jotform, as well as some of the tools I'm using, are really useful for saving you time on possibly the most annoying thing in work, which is just like replying to emails. A lot of times it's the same sort of thing, mattering on the topic. You know who you are, kind of what links you need to send, what decks you have to send. And AI agents can really help you reduce your time for, customer support, obviously, as we've seen on websites, but you still get emails, and those emails need to be responded to. And that's what these agents are going to be able to help you with.
When I started Jotform in the early days, one of the biggest problems for me that I was spending so much time processing my emails, and I will just sometimes spend 6 hours, 8 hours a day just responding to customers, processing my emails. And one of the first automations I did was to use Gmail labels and filters to create an automation so that I can actually filter all these emails into different priority levels of inboxes, so that I can actually work on the highest priority emails first. And it made a big difference. Instead of spending 6 hours a day, I would just spend an hour a day, and I wouldn't miss the most important emails. And then the less important emails, they could I would check them out later on. But when you don't know what's important, it's usually when you don't know which emails are important, when your inbox is full of emails, it's just so time consuming to process the email. So that was one of my automations. And today we are going to talk about how AI agents can actually help you process your emails. Not in terms of how you categorize or filter or label them, but more in terms of how you can actually respond them faster. And one of the ways you can do that is if the AI agents could actually respond to your emails. Like if you could actually train an AI agent that can create a response. But you don't want email is kind of sensitive, because you don't want you don't want to send an automated email most of the time, right? You want it to create a draft so that you can just check out the draft, check out the email, and then if it looks good,
Yeah.
just click on send. Or if you want to change something, add something, you can edit. So this is something AI agents are great, and you're gonna show how to do this using Relevance AI agent. And
Yep.
I'm gonna show that how to do that using Jotform's new. We just released this week, just like literally like 2 days ago. We just released the Jotform AI agent, Jotform Gmail agent, which is an AI agent that can actually be trained on your inbox, and then it can actually create drafts for you automatically. And I'm gonna demo that, and then you're gonna showcase how you're actually doing this something similar using Relevance, and you're gonna actually show you the real use case, real
Hmm.
demo, like the real business, your own business demo. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start with mine. So we just released this week, Jotform Gmail agent. It connects your AI. Connect your AI agent to your Gmail account and instantly get draft responses for every incoming customer email. So basically, uh it's trained on your existing, so it's so easy to use because all you have to do is like click on a single button and it does everything for you. Just it will just go and read your previous, I think, like last hundreds emails that you responded, and then from that it's gonna know like which emails to respond and how to respond and all that stuff. And as soon as we released this, like there was a huge interest. Like this was one of our biggest launches because I feel like this is a big problem for everyone. So, but before I do the demo, I'm going to show the page a little bit more. So this is just like, there are some, different demos here: healthcare, product, education, IT, different use cases. Basically, you receive this email and it prepares this draft, and you can just review the draft and send it. And how it works is it's very simple. You give the authentication, and then it just reviews your emails, and then it will start just writing drafts. For every email you receive after that, it's gonna start creating drafts. And yeah, this is basically it's very simple. But what's really great about this is like instead of spending so much time rewriting the same things again and again for every customer, you will already start like ahead by just having these, and then it's just very, very fast. As soon as you receive the email, it's just creates the drafts. So that's also very fast, and it's trained on your send emails. Smart labels, it creates these labels, it's decide which labels to create, and then because it's trained on your previous emails, it knows like what kind of emails you receive, and then it designs these labels so it's easier for you to see like what kind of, so it's not just helping you write the rest, but it's also categorizing your emails depending on the request.
Hmm.
um yeah. So basically, we and it also has all the features of Chat from AI agents. Basically, this means like if you want to integrate it with your Google Calendar, if you wanted to take
Slack. Yeah.
appointments, make appointments, it can just have a conversation with the other party and create an appointment for you. For the other party as well, or if you need to take a payment and all the other stuff, all the integrations are coming with that. And basically you can actually give feedback using Jotform's own conversations inbox as well to the AI agent so that it can provide better answers. So Jotform is like almost 2 decades old company with 30 million users. So you know we have all these like SOC 2, GDPR, HIPAA compliance, and all that stuff. So you
Yeah.
know that you're not just trusting your Gmail account with a company that just came out yesterday. um and yeah, some testimonials here as well. So yeah, we can go ahead and start with
Yeah.
the
Let's check it out.
yeah. So if you remember, like I actually like doing like all these like small business use cases. So again, like I went to Webflow, created this from a template. So basically, let's say you have a cleaning service, right? This is a expert cleaning service. You provide deep cleaning services and office cleaning services, and this is uh let's say this is your and you can actually train your agent, not just in your from your previous emails, but just providing your website, and then it can train from your website and give answers by just looking at your website as well. So uh we created this demo account. It's just a demo email account, and we sent these emails, just like and asked some questions that actually these questions were actually generated by ChatGPT as well. But basically, these questions, so that we have some data to work with. So yeah, we have all these questions. Let's go ahead and then connect with this account. So I'm just gonna go ahead, connect with this Gmail account. So maybe you're not seeing it because it's different window, but basically I'm giving it access to the Gmail, and so now it's basically creating an agent for me, and basically it's now started looking at the previous emails, just reading those emails, reading the answers, and learning from that. That's the first step. Uh, this sometimes can take a long time, but you don't have to wait here. If you have like many emails, you can go and come back to this, and it will continue. But since we don't have a lot of emails, this shouldn't take too long, and it already finished. And it's also
Mhm.
like creating all these labels and categorizing depending on different kind of answers, and so it's doing some more processing here.
I guess what's really interesting here is, and I what I'll show you later, it did take a little bit more
Mhm.
manual work, but I wanted something like this about 2 months ago when I was setting this up that essentially would train on my inbox, and I think this is pretty incredible because this is simple, right? It's simple. You set it up, it does what it does here, and nobody wants, I mean, not saying that both don't have their merits, but this is very simple to set up, is my point. And, that's what a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah, it's done. It's ready to answer your emails. So I say next, and so basically it's learned from the emails, and it hasn't created any drafts. So if I look at my email inbox, there's no new email, but it created these labels for me by looking at these previous answers. So here I created this question for this move out deep cleaning scheduling. I would like to know more about scheduling options available for move out deep cleaning services. Could you please provide me with the details? Again, we got help from ChatGPT and sending this, and then let's see. So first, I will receive this email, and then once I receive that email, that's actually gonna trigger. Uh, that's gonna be So okay, yeah, I have the email now. So in the backend, right? In the backend, this is my demo account. Backend, we are now waiting for a draft to be created because it's connected to my account. Let's wait for a while. Oh yeah, I already got it. I think I while I was preparing I connected it to multiple agents, so I might have multiple drafts. So yeah. Uh, so thank you for your interest in move out clean. And this was prepared for the AI agent, and we offer, and you can actually disable this part. You don't have to have this. One of the reasons we decided to have that is because like people connect and they might forget that who is creating the draft. So just to make sure that we have something here, which is this can be removed. We offer flexible scheduling options and comprehensive cleaning kitchens. So yeah, it looks like it's ready to book an appointment. I didn't do a tool integration, uh, I could do that. I could go to like the train action tools if I want to integrate that with my appointments, right? So let's find the appointments. I could integrate this with my Google Calendar so that it knows the times when I'm available to do an appointment. Let's take a look at that. Google. Let's see. Yeah, set appointment with Google Calendar is here. So basically, I can set that up here. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm just gonna show how to do that,
Sure.
basically. But you can work on the persona, how you want it to answer questions. You can build your knowledge base if you want to. If you wanted to, like learn from your website, basically, and it created all these knowledge bases. Basically, yeah. Uh, it created some knowledge base from the AI agent, but it's not shown here. But basically, I can enter this link and it can crawl and learn further about different services, and it can crawl the website and yeah, learn from it.
Nice. And can you add I mean, with this knowledge, right? Like you can add things to train it on for
Mhm.
context, but could you like in regards to like what the company does, but could you add could you go back? Is there the same kind of rules logic that you have with the other agents as well, right? So like
Yeah,
tools, rules. So you could maybe
do
add a
actions,
link, like
right?
say if somebody says they want to do or go somewhere or do something,
Mhm.
you could respond with a specific link or respond with like a booking link or like a form or something,
Yeah, I
right?
mean, those are actually, you could
Nice.
do that
That's very
using
good.
using the actions.
Yeah, just like
Basically, if the user wants to make an appointment, you could just say, you could just give them the link, give a link to them. Maybe just send them this calendar link, and then you can just enter the URL here. And so,
yeah.
just like how you can select things from dropdown, you can also put like prompts right here, like that, and it will also work. Yeah, so definitely, you could do that. Accidentally deleted that, but send them a calendar link, for example, right? And basically, you can save this. I didn't provide a link, but basically, I could provide the link as well. So you could put those kind of prompts and actions like that as well. Or if you have forms, you can send those form links to people as well. And you can also train your agent by just talking to it. If you need to talk to your agent and give instructions, just start your emails by saying, hey, how are you doing? I mean, we wouldn't probably do that, but you could provide instruction like that, and just train your agent by talking to it. Yeah, it basically updated the persona with that information, and then if I proceed, hey, how are you doing? In response with greeting, yes, proceed. Let's see if it's gonna work. Let me send another email. Let's say, um, let's see. So this is not the one. I will just do it here. Basically, I will just say, yeah, that email address. I need that email address. 1 second. Yes. How are you doing? Um, how is everything? And let's see. And we haven't received the email yet. Okay, I received the email now. Let's wait for the response draft. I'm just refreshing. It looks like this draft, but that's the old one. Yeah. Okay, I got the draft. It doesn't follow. it doesn't start by saying that. But yeah, it's something I'm going to report to the team. It didn't get
Okay.
that. But yeah, I mean, that's how sometimes it might actually, like, one of the good things about AI agents is it might actually decide that, hey, already asked, like, someone actually already asked, like, how are you doing? You don't want to say, you want to say back, how are you doing, right? So maybe,
That
the
wouldn't make any
agent is
sense.
right here. Maybe I'm wrong here, but we'll check that out.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is really exciting. Like, the possibilities are like limitless. There's just like so many things that can be done with AI agents, and just the Gmail agent is another way people can get AI agents to do things for them so that they can save time and spend their time on more important things. Yeah, I know that you also have a similar workflow, and you're going to show us the AI agent you created with relevance. So I'm leaving it to you.
Yeah. So mine definitely is a little bit similar, or well, not a little bit, it's a lot of bit similar. So when I go through this, I'll just kind of call out that, like, I get it, like it's decently similar. So I don't blame you at all for if you're watching this and going, oh, it seems like it's, well, I think sometimes it's good to point out there are different solutions for the same type of process, and also some are easier to set up and some have different abilities and stuff. So just to start out with mine, I will go with just going to the first part here and showing this is Relevance AI, and I set up what is called like a director agent. So I named this guy Dan the Director. For my company, I do a couple little different things. Obviously, we do this podcast. You can see my screen, right? You're good?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. We do this podcast. We do content services. So I make like content actually for Jotform's YouTube channel and stuff like that. I make content for other companies. And then I also have a YouTube channel and I get sponsored requests. So what this director does is anytime there is a email, similar to what happens in the Jotform email agents, it kind of parses out what's the question about and figures out what to respond with. But rather than having it just be a general responder, I kind of made it a little bit more specialized, where, as you can see here, these agents are made to respond based off of what it determines to be. So it's like, okay, if this is about a sponsorship post, let's have it respond with this agent and have that agent figure it out. So for the podcast, for example, you start with this guy, and what'll happen here is I essentially worked through training this agent by using this inventor tool, where you can essentially write out step-by-step SOPs. And this is where being organized helps. And something I just want to call out to everybody is, whether it's through the Jotform agents or through something like this, mark out your processes, guys, because in the next 2 years, if you have them marked out, you just hand it to an AI agent, it's going to be pretty much able to understand what you want to do and even give you suggestions above what you may know. So I gave it a bunch of explanation as to, what prospects look like for a podcast guest. So for example, if we're receiving a podcast guest request, I have it utilize a knowledge base I built of like, what is a good guest? And then I send it to a research agent, right, to check out the website of the person and that kind of stuff. And more so than just draft responses, sometimes that happens. It gets weird. Did you see my text on my screen got weird? Whether it's making the response or not is a big part of it. As you can see, there's like a writing agent, but I had a research agent before because, say, for example, it's not a good guest fit. I just don't want to deal with it. It's going to make a draft that represents, hey, appreciate you for reaching out. Probably not the best idea that we have the podcast together. Maybe some of this is a good idea. So that's what happens for the podcast. That's a great example of it. And we get a lot of different email requests throughout so what I can do is just to go to the podcast. Let me grab my label for the AI Agents podcast and see if there's any good examples of this real quick.
Yeah. And if you think about it,
And
even if like if you have an email address, if you make it available publicly, you're probably receiving a lot of spam as well. Like that's like
exactly, yes.
you want to be able to sort between real people who are interested in like joining the podcast and just spam. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So for example, let's go here. And this is not only in the, is it a request for the podcast or is this a follow-up message, right? So we already had a podcast guest on. This was Evan. It was a great interview. And this back and forth was mainly led by AI discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, you guys do good work. I'm looking forward to the market team to pump it out. He asked questions on, are there any hashtags or @ codes? And this is a draft that was made for my client success manager to handle. Hi, Evan. Thanks for reaching out about the social media promotions. We really appreciate you taking the initiative to help spread the word about your episode. Here are the hashtags and handles we'd love to use. Feel free to use any combinations of these that work for your post. I didn't need to write
Was
that.
this generated by AI? Completely generated by AI?
Yeah, so we have a specific, and this is where sub agents kind of go into it. As I mentioned, there's the research part, and then I have this thing called Emma, the email writer, which is a specifically trained agent on how to write emails. And then I have a sub agent sort of in there that is the one I've made before called Person Pete, where it basically turns AI writing into non-AI sounding writing. And then last but not least, I have a QA agent. So I really want to make sure it doesn't sound like crap, to be honest. And that's, I just think about it like if this was a team, make agents that are a team.
Yeah.
And make a workflow that reflects that. So yeah, this isn't the only example of this, but it is a great example of just like, okay, we can just store the hashtags and the handles and stuff like that, and it'll give a response.
That's cool.
This saves us a lot of time because we get a lot of spam. And it's not only for this, we have, I think sponsorships is a big one for people who are like YouTubers or social media content creators in general. The amount of work we get through sponsored requests is pretty funny. And the amount of bad requests we get is pretty, there's a lot of dumb, like it's like, okay, I'm not doing this. Like it's some weird scammy small app or some weird scammy physical product, or they're clearly not like real. What I'll do is I'll basically go through and check out what I used to do. What I used to do before this agent existed is I used to go through and I'd say, okay, this is the product. Let me look at some basic indicators as to whether it's a good opportunity or not, right? And oftentimes it was not a good opportunity, right? Like it wasn't. So rather than dealing with vetting that out, I made early stages of agents, and then I moved into this situation, which was figuring out whether it's a good fit or not. If it is a good fit, respond with an actual showcase of, hey, this is my sponsorship package. This is how we operate. If you'd like to move forward, let's do it. And then if we receive more things, we would negotiate, right? Or at different steps in the process, when we'd finish the video and they'd say, what are the next steps? It would answer those questions. It's just a very complex process to some people's initial mind, in my opinion, is not that complicated. Like it's just a really long and varying long, mattering on what the process is, step of if then logic, right? Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it's just like if you had a real human assistant, right?
Yeah.
You would just tell them that, okay, if this happens, like do this for me, right? And you're basically doing that, but you're doing it on relevance with your AI agents. And it's
exactly.
It's just like that. And then you're basically kind of writing code, but in just like regular in English. You're writing code in English because LLMs can understand your code, your English code. So it's amazing. It's yeah, we live in an age that's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, you exactly got it right. It's like training the code in such a
Hmm.
way that, like, if I trained people on this, and I actually, funny enough, and this is where I have a very strong stance about meetings, and that is, obviously you don't want too many people on there.
Mhm.
If they're not needed, obviously you don't need them to be there. But the other thing that's very strong is, unless it's a personal conversation, there's no reason that any project-oriented meeting shouldn't be recorded. Now with the new advent of these meeting generators, you can actually make agents like this literally by going through all of the recordings where you would have had a meeting and trained somebody, and then taking the transcripts and figuring out the logic of decision making based off of the training. So you don't even have to write it out. So all these agents were set up by somebody that I'm paying on the side. That I could have said this on myself. I'm very advanced with this stuff, but I literally gave them, here are all the trainings for sponsorship management. Can you make knowledge bases, and can you make agents based off of that? And that was it. Now, that's something that I think is very valuable to you if you're listening to this. Like, don't limit your, frame of mind to, oh, I have to write it all out. Oh, that's going to be so much work. You could talk it now. Like, that's something that's such a hack from previous situations. If you've trained anybody once, like, just record the call and then
But some people who are seeing this, like, they might be scared, like, this is
Yeah.
so much work. But I think what you can do is, like, you can just start small. Like, you can just, like, pick just one thing that you do constantly. Like, maybe people are asking about, let's say if you're a small business, maybe people are asking about your, opening hours, right? You could just have this agent, and you just say, okay, if someone is asking about opening hours, right? You just send them an information. Otherwise, don't send an email, right? You could just automate that part, and you could just start with that, and that would be your, like, small AI agent that's actually handling that thing, right? Once you do that, once you feel the confidence that this can accomplish more, you can just gradually add more and more automations that way. And this is actually very healthy. Like, if you try to do this all at once, that's not very
Yes,
healthy, because
exactly.
it's just gonna, if you miss some things, then you'll miss emails, maybe you will, it's just gonna get too complex very quickly. But if you just add things slowly and gradually, and you watch it working well and perfect it, just make it right, and then add another one, and make it right, and add another one. It's an iterative process. If you can actually do it that way, maybe you will reach this kind of, like, automation, like this kind of prompt a year from now, and then it's not going to look too much, like, too complex to you at that point, because you gradually edit all these prompts. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I and I want to call out what you just said again, and kind of maybe also touch back on what I said a minute ago. In that context, these calls that I recorded have happened naturally over, like, years, right? Like, I've been doing this for a couple years now. So it wasn't like I said, oh, I'm going to do all this at once. Well, the nice thing is, I actually went through and set up all of these processes as I went along to save myself time. It's always like, and the great thing about agents is this kind of speeds it up. But previously, what you would have to do if you wanted to, like, optimize, I know you had a book called, I know, Getting You Back Your Time. Was it what the specific
Automate
words?
your busy work.
Automate your business. And then the subline was like buying your time back or something, right?
Yeah.
There's always sublines to the, I forget. But yeah, so automating your busy work, that's something that I'm sure we can agree on is so important. And this is one of those things where all you need to do is start small. You start with templating it for yourself if you're doing it yourself. you write out the workflow, you template the parts that can be templated, and then maybe if you get good at automation, you can automate stuff. And then now the last step is, okay, we'll just AI agent the portions that are harder to quote directly automate. And, if we go through my email inbox now, I'll just show you the list of different things that it's doing now. We have different categories. Like, let's go to the sponsorship, right? We'd love to feature your YouTube channel to help you expand your reach. This is a company, Outskill, where they originally reached out, world's first AI-focused educational platform, been following your YouTube channel, done 500 partnerships with people over the last few years. Long story short, the agent figured out, all right, looks good, here's my deck, right? And they said, after reviewing it, we're excited about the potential for a barter collaboration. And then we had another response ready, right? Because there was kind of a weird curveball they sent with the whole like newsletter thing. We don't really mention newsletters on a YouTube channel. So we asked some questions, right? And the agent came up with these questions. Let me make sure I unread these so the guy doesn't lose them. Question about the podcast. Let's see another one for business consulting. Oh, here's another great one. This is basically something where someone asks us a question, and simply, it doesn't fit under our prerogative. There's no sponsorship. There's no content services. There's no podcast. Kind of feels like spam.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, we don't do info. We don't do.
No, we are definitely not doing those stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And we appreciate it. And we go, yeah, after careful consideration, bye. Like no need to, yeah.
By the AI agent.
Yeah.
Or AI
exactly.
Agent. Consider
Exactly.
Carefully.
Yeah. He goes, I don't know about that. Now, let's see some other situations here that are good. So, here. There's another draft here. Hi, thanks for following up on the video draft. I wanted to update you that the first video draft is currently in progress. The recording has been completed and our editing team is actively working on it. So this is a draft that was written essentially based off of looking at our project workflow and answering the question based off their question. The nice thing is with the sponsors agent is we got it to work with our Notion. So what does that mean? Our Notion manages our content, and based off of status names, you can get answers to questions. So if it says like editing, right? And they ask a question about a video, we say, okay, what is the you obviously have the person's email, which is attached to their sponsorship, card in Notion. And then that would connect to a list of videos, and, you can get an answer like this. So it can be pretty advanced. It can be very basic, like Idekin's saying, which is literally just like a spam remover, which helps everybody. Like that fits in every category of business. Or it can be as advanced as, say somebody's requesting the status of a widget being produced. If you have a database and you can connect that database to the agent, you could get the answer, especially if they send you their order number or something, right? And the order number is tracked in a system. And, other systems you have internally are updating statuses properly. Rather than you having to go and check, the agent can go and check and then respond. So, yeah, this is the power of what this stuff does,
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions about like what I'm doing with this?
No, it looks great. Very great. Just like you're just saving so much time by letting your AI agent process your emails, preparing drafts. And as I said, like it's an iterative process. Every time your AI agent doesn't perform something that you want it to perform, you can always go back to your prompts and add something else, and keep reviewing all the work it's doing, and then keep improving it. At some point, like it's just you don't even have to improve it. Like it just works perfectly, and you just save time. It doesn't, take breaks. It doesn't go on vacations, and it's just constantly available all the time during holidays as well. So, yeah, it's amazing to have AI agents that can actually do so much these days. Yeah.
Yeah. So my recommendation for all of you is check out what we're doing at Jotform AI Agents. Make your own agents, get answers to the questions without you needing to do the dang work. It's so hard nowadays to manage all of your different distractions, and my recommendation is just simply stop being distracted by your inbox. It's the worst feeling in the world when you feel like you're overwhelmed by something, and your inbox should not be one of them, especially with these. And whether that's, the inbox of customer support ticket requests on your website or now your email, Jotform AI Agents is going to be that solution. So just keep on a lookout. We're going to keep updating and doing more cool stuff. The product has been doing really well. How's the performance of like growth been recently? Have we gotten more and more users with agents recently, or what?
Before I get to that,
yeah. By the way, buy Idekin's book. It's the best book.
You're talking about this
Yeah.
automated. Do less, achieve more, and save your
Yeah.
brain for the big stuff. So
Exactly.
that's exactly how AI agents can help you. You do less, but you achieve more because the AI agents do it, and you save your brain for the important stuff because all this stuff that you repeat are actually handled for you. Yeah. So you were asking about the what were you asking about? Sorry.
I was just saying, like, hey, how have we found like users and stuff?
Oh wow.
Anything they've been saying recently about like
So
it or growth?
it's been top at like the Gmail agent was one of the top ones. I think it's third or something on product count, and like we had thousands of people start using it right away, and just it turned out great. Just started in such a great way, and people were actually using it. Like they were creating all the giving it giving it access, and then being trained on, and then preparing drafts. And just like our measurement of success is like um how much do people edit, like when we create a draft, do people, before they send that reply, do they edit 50% or less of the email? If they edit it, it's fine. But if they send it more than 50% of the message, that we assume it wasn't as good as it should be. Or if they cancel it and just write the response themselves, we assume that we didn't do a good job. And that's the measurement we are using to kind of like rate our success. And so far, it's been good. It's been like half of the drafts were actually sent more with less than 50% changes. Half of the drafts we created.
How are you tracking that
Was
way? Out of
bad.
genuine
So,
curiosity, how did you get that answer? I haven't done.
so
How does that work?
basically because you're giving us access to Gmail, the it's able to like look at the drafts, and if you send a response, and if you changed it a little bit, we assume that the draft was successful. And if you changed it a lot, or if you just canceled that draft, we assume that we weren't successful. And I think the reason it has over 50% rate of that successful drafts is because we have been in beta for like 3 months, and we had a great team, and they have been working on this product for a very long time, and they had around hundreds beta users. They were constantly working with those beta users to improve the product. So that's why, right out of the gate, the product started really well and did really well. And of course, our goal is going to be to increase that rate. Like, how can we make sure that drafts get better and better and improve our responses? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, 50% is actually pretty good. I'd say that something I do want to call out about this, and before we close it out, is do not expect like from any agent absolute, complete, 100% accuracy in response in regards to complex things. What I was showing you was like a ridiculously over-engineered like example of it. And still, Luca, the guy on my team, does have to tweak those emails, right? Because it's not a person.
Yeah.
And we're in the first year of this being a thing. So 50% is amazing, because what I like about it and what was really big for me, just from what I heard from my team, was like, hey man, this is saving me a lot of time, because at a minimum, I already have an outline of what the email should be. And then I just got to like tweak a couple things, right? Whereas even if you don't have that, you have to go copy that email, maybe put it into an agent to be like, could you write me an email response? All those little tweaks here and there. He's like, we used to actually send it to our Slack and have a Slack agent that would basically be like, is this a good response? Press approve or deny. And then you could reply in the thread in order to make it change. And what we realized is it's actually just easier to just put it in his email drafts. And then when it's in his email drafts, he can like just easily tweak it. So I like the way that you went about doing it. It's very funny that I didn't even know you guys were doing this. And then I was like, it's probably easier to just put it in the drafts. Yeah, so very, very cool stuff.
We didn't want to just send the emails, because it's just emails are very sensitive. But creating drafts is like, it's even if it gets it right, 1 out of 2 emails, I think it's good, because like it's just very easy to discard the draft and write your own response. But if it's right, you just click on send, or you just add some additional sentence or 2 and click on send, and you're done. You just saved 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour writing an email from scratch.
Yeah, I agree with you, by the way. I do think it makes sense for all intents and purposes. Like, there is no reason to, in my opinion, kind of, I don't really think you should send emails like without verification, right? And I think we're not at that point. So I like that you're doing drafts. Maybe some people are comfortable with it, but
I have had experiences in the past that I asked a question like a customer service for a product, and I would get this copy and paste answer. That has nothing to do with what I asked, right? Someone actually like they didn't even like properly read my email, and then just copied and pasted a long answer. But here we have this AI agent that actually really understands what you're asking, and then because it knows like all the history of your answers, it can prepare a really good answer. And that just blows away like that copy and pasting answers. If you are very busy, you don't have time to like spend so much time writing emails. So I think it's just as the book title says, save your brain for the good stuff, right? Let the automation handle the repetitive tasks, and the automation can write the email, and then you can just add something to it, and just improve it. Like, you take your time to improve it, and then you will provide a much better service, and everyone will be happy.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on, man. I think it's the better approach you're doing, to be honest. All right, man. So with that being said, please everybody go check out Jotform email agents. We're really Gmail agents, I should be clear. Just do you have any plans on expanding to the suite of email, or is it just going to be Gmail, you think, for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, I mean, we have new agents coming. We will have another agent coming next month, but as you know, we don't announce them. Like, we just keep it.
Oh, okay. Keep them waiting. All right.
Very big. Like, the presentation agent was huge. I don't think we did an episode about that. We should definitely do that.
We should definitely do an episode on that one. Yeah.
As well. And the Gmail agents has been a huge launch. And the next month we have another agent that's coming out. That's also going to be a huge launch, because I know the huge number of usage we see with our beta users. So that's also going to be huge. Yeah, we should probably cover those agents in the next episodes. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. With that being said, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the AI Agents podcast, and we'll see you in the next one.
We'll see you the next time.